Hello everyone, this is Room Counter from roomcounter.com. Now I am working on a new website for indie games, and this is the current uh, quote unquote design of my website. As you can see, there is no design, it's just HTML, and I'm not even using CSS here. I've just one game in here with one mod and some YouTube videos on the game. Now, what I want is to turn this lack of design into something that's usable uh, by learning Hugo, the static site generator. So Hugo static site generator. This. It is really fast, and that's why I selected it. It uses Go as the backend language itself, but you don't really need to know Go to be able to work with Hugo. Now I am going to go through the documentation here with you guys and start learning Hugo. In the, let's see, installation first. Now, based on your system, whatever you have, you need to go into the corresponding page here and have these prerequisites installed. And then go and you can download a pre-built binary, or you can use a package manager like MacPorts or Homebrew to install Hugo on your operating system. I use Windows, so I'm going to go over that. So first, you need to download Git, right? You can just click here, right-click and go to Git, and then go Downloads, Download for Windows, right? If you have a 64-bit system, which you probably do, just click on this. If you have a 32-bit system, click on this one. You can know what your system is by right-clicking on Start and going to System. Right here, my system is a 64-bit operating system. This is for Windows 11. If you don't know how to do this for your Windows, just type into Google. So Windows, let's say you have 7. Look up system 64-bit. If your computer uses Windows 7 Vista, then choose Start, Control Panel, etc., etc. Look for next to system type. So you can always ask Google if your system is not the same as mine. After you get the standalone installer, you can just install it on your computer, Git. Or you can use the winget tool, right? You need PowerShell for that. So you go to here and type PowerShell, and then right-click on this and run as administrator. Yes. And here you can just type winget install id git esource. This whole thing. You can just copy and paste it in PowerShell if you so desire. Just copied it and paste it in there and hit enter. I already have Git, so I don't need to do this. But after this, Git will install. So either do this or download the installer and run that. Okay? That's just Git. Now after that, you need Git and you need Go, right? So click on here, Go, download and install. There's a download button here. So download it and then double click it and then it will install Go on your machine. It's so simple. After you have Git and Go install, you can also download and install .sas. It's a little bit more involved. Includes libsas, which transpiles to SAS. The SAS team deprecated libsas in favor of .sas. Use the latest features of the SAS language by installing .sas. This is not a requirement, but if you want to use Sass, this is basically a programming language mode for CSS files. Go to .sass and then install. Command line, Sass source index CSS. No, let's see. Install right here. You can use the command line. On Windows, you can, if you have Chocolatey installed, you can use Choco install Sass, or the Homebrew package manager for macOS. Chocolatey package manager right here. Go to Chocolatey and install. You can install Chocolatey. Supported Windows client. Click on here to do that. And then install. Ensure that you're using an administrative shell. You can also install as non-admin, non-administrative. So use the administrative shell to install Chocolatey. Commercial edition, blah, blah, blah. If you want to use Chocolatey, you can do that by installing Chocolatey on your system. Otherwise, install Node.js, npm install gsass. So first install npm. Sign up for free. npm.js. Nope. Where's the... They change the stuff. Let's say install npm. Let's ask Google. Downloading and installing. There we go. Windows Node version managers. Okay. Node installer. Node.js download page. So you can go here and download the Windows installer to install npm on your computer. After you install npm, so far we've installed Git and Go, and now you're installing npm and using npm, Node.js, right? Using Node.js, I'm saying npm, but this is Node.js. Using Node.js, you are going to install Sass by typing this into the command line, right? So you can just copy this after npm, after Node.js is installed, and you can go to the command line or PowerShell, whatever you want. Right? You can type cmd here for the command prompt, run as administrator, and then type in npm install gsass. Okay, and that will install Sass on your computer. And after installing Sass, all of these prerequisites are going to have been fulfilled. Now, after you install these programs on your computer, you can go to the latest release page of Hugo and download this latest release. Okay. Let's see, compare. I don't need to compare. Here are the assets. So based on your system, you are going to select the one that's most appropriate to yours. We are going to select Windows AMD 64, this one. Download and install Hugo. Release binaries are compiled with Go. Okay. Let's see. This is the releases page. And we don't have anything to do around here. Okay, so just download whatever the package that's most appropriate to your system. AMD 64 is the most appropriate to mine. Hugo Extended, you can also download this one. I think this one is better if you're downloading Hugo. Or you can use a package manager like Chocolatey. If you've installed Chocolatey, just type Choco install Hugo Extended on your administrative command line. Or you can use Winget on Windows as well. think that's what I used last time I did it. It's easier, right? You can go to PowerShell or CMD, command prompt, run as administrator here, and just type winget. Winget comes with Windows itself, right? Just type this in to your command prompt, and this will install Hugo extended. And once this is done, right, it's going to take a while, right? And once it is done, you are going to be able to use Hugo, right? I've already installed it before, so found an existing package already installed. It's going to say different things on yours if this is the first time you're installing Hugo. You don't need to build from source. Okay, so this part was the installation guide, and now we are going to look at getting started. Let's go to quick start here. Now in this section of the video, we are going to create a site, add some content, configure the site, publish the site. So let's do those things. We've already installed Hugo, we've already installed Git. And to create a site, if you're a Windows user, do not use the command prompt, do not use Windows PowerShell. Run these commands from PowerShell or a Linux terminal such as WSL or Git Bash. So you can use Git Bash. This comes with Git. Always run it as administrator. You can do that. Or you can, so this is the current folder that it's at. If you know Linux commands, you can use Linux commands to list the directory contents, etc. If you want to, I don't really know Linux commands that well. If you want to use, let me close this, Windows, your PowerShell, you need to go and install that as well. So click on that, PowerShell. This is not Windows PowerShell, okay? Windows PowerShell is different from just PowerShell. Here is an installation page. Just follow that to install PowerShell using winget, right? This is the recommended method. Just winget, search Microsoft PowerShell, and then winget install PowerShell, source winget. Type those commands and you'll get PowerShell. Now, this is the PowerShell that I installed. There's also Windows PowerShell, which is different, right? This is different from actual PowerShell. Okay, so don't use this. Use PowerShell. Right? Type PowerShell after you've installed it on your computer, and then run as administrator. Okay, so this is PowerShell. Now this can be used to make a site with Hugo. Okay, you need to travel to the directory. Go to the directory that you want to make a site in. In this case, I want to go to my Google Drive. Going to my drive. Yeah, need to do this. My drive. And then I have a web directory in here. And yeah, in here, let's create Indie Atlas. I already have an indieatlas.com directory here, but it houses my old site, right? I want to make a new one. So maybe I'll just, yeah, let me get a new folder in here with these commands that is gonna create a blank site for me, right? Right now in this folder, this site is residing, the old site. It's under pages, so CD pages. This is where all my, I added actually CD old. I actually made a Hugo template in there, but this is basically where my design is. I don't have the new design like this directory. The pages directory contains an empty Hugo template. So maybe I should delete all of that. Yeah, let's delete all of that. Yeah, well, so things don't get messy. I'm now deleting it. Assets, pages, archetypes, etc. Deleting everything. And now this contains the old site. Okay, now I want, instead of this pages folder, I am going to create a new design with Hugo, hopefully, in a folder called new. So I have the secure folder here containing everything that needs to be secure, assets, images and such, and pages for the pages. I'm going to create an additional folder here called new, which will house my new website. I'm just going to copy all of these. Right. And before pasting them in, I need to paste them into a notepad file. Let's see now. I want my new site to be named new. Okay, so Hugo new site new. CD new. Go into the new site, git init, sub module add something. So this initiates git. Git is the version control system for your site, and it's very useful. So you should use it. And then we're getting an Ananke theme. I don't really like Ananke that much. So here, let's go to, before installing Ananke theme, let's go to Hugo theme site and select a theme. Paper mod looks good, minimalistic. I like responsive designs. So responsive means mobile telephones will be able to view your site fine. Okay. These all look like the paper mod, linker, Isabella, Textify, Hermit, Loki. This looks good. It's gonna be a gaming site, so I don't know, maybe something like this. Might buy. Okay, so let's select one of these to start with. What about minimal? Gallery? Maybe. Low key. Hugo plate. Oh yeah, I think someone made a theme, so Hugo theme with using Tailwind. Tailwind CSS, Hugo themes, Hugo plate. Yeah, this one. I think I'm going to go with this. Hugo plate, because it uses Tailwind. So not an Anke, but Hugo plate. So let's try and get this theme, Hugo plate. Okay, now I'm going to copy all of this and then paste it into PowerShell and hit enter. Let's see if this works. It's downloading things. Hugo plate does not found. Add it as a Hugo and store it in there. Okay, so I need to download Hugo plate and then put it in there. So let's download zip. And then let me get that Hugo plate. Theme. Into my directory. So new here is the directory that was created. Now I'm adding Hugo plate in here. Not found in new themes Hugo plate. Either add it as a Hugo module or store it in new themes. Module does not exist. Can we do this again? Theme Hugo plate. Hugo plate not found. What about with a lowercase letter? I am just learning Hugo, by the way, with you guys. That's what I'm doing. Let's try and do this. Oh, we are in new. Okay. New. It's always going into and getting new site going. So let's delete all of these news. Right, and inside this new themes, I'll just put Hugo plate in here and delete everything else. Also git. It's probably going to complain that this new folder is not empty. If I try and do this, so create a new folder name new down here. Does not exist. So let's go to G, my drive, web, cdg, my drive. Doesn't exist, really? Okay, let's restart this shell. All right, so let's go to cd my drive. And then web, and then in the atlas. Now try these. The theme is not in there anyway, but let's try. Taxonomy failed. Execution of template failed. Error building site. Blah blah blah. Okay. Lots of errors. I guess this is not a good way of doing things. Let's just follow. I'll add Hugo plate in here. I've already added it. Let's just follow the quick start instructions, right? Quick start guide. I'll just copy this and use it as it is. Just name the site new instead of quick start. And then I'll use Ananke to start with, and then maybe switch if I can. So go to your root folder, I guess, not new, and then paste these in and enter. Okay, so everything is good, and Hugo server is running at localhost 1313, so you can just copy that and go to that server. And this is what things look like right now. There's nothing in here. And let's see what else we are going to do. Explanation of commands. You can look at these on this page. Add content. Hugo new content, post my first post, MD. If we type this, we can't because server is running. Let's get another PowerShell going on this admin. And then go to G cd my drive cd web and then cd in the atlas then cd new. All right, now Hugo new content posts and then my first post. I want my first post to be about Dominions 5, the game, so Dominions 5.md. No existing content directory configured for this project. Let's see. Yeah, we don't have a content directory. Why? Let's make a directory then. Make directory posts. This should have populated the site. So let's go back here and try again. I am going to stop this Hugo server. And let's go back here. Instead of the new folder, I am going to create a folder. Let's call it Quick Start. Okay, server is running. Let's see localhost 1313. So we already have one. Okay, now this looks more populated. Okay, so this looks better. Quick Start has all of these other folders in as well. Sorry, we didn't get them last time with this new folder, if you look at it. And then I will get my Hugo Plate theme into this Quick Start folder. Paste it in. And this new folder doesn't really have anything that I want in it, so I'm just going to delete that. Now, my pages are going to be stored in Quick Start, and then I'm going to rename this folder to Pages, okay, later on. Okay, now the server is running. I'm going to stop this server and try the new command, which is content, my first post MD. Okay, it created my first post. Content post directory, open file with your editor. So you can go to content here, posts, and then open this in a markdown editor. This is a markdown file. I could edit with Notepad++. Okay, so this is my first post. It's a little different from this notation, right? So if you look at the markdown, reference. Okay, or to get these. So different toml, YAML, and other formats have different markups, right? So in the front matter, for instance, if we go to front matter page right here, it's either in YAML, toml, or JSON. Okay. With toml is also a markup language. Opening, closing pluses are the hallmark of toml for front matter. These dashes are used by YAML, and JSON is different, right? With these curly braces. So you could have a toml file like this, which would look like this in JSON, and like this in YAML. Toml is good for configuration files, and YAML is good for data. Also JSON. JSON is also good for data serialization. So toml for front matter does make sense. But we are going to have content in these files as well. So if you don't use Notepad++, you could use VS Code, for instance, to open the files with. That looks better, actually. Open with Visual Studio Code. Let's say always. And this is what it looks like in Visual Studio Code. Do I have an extension for handling Markdown files? Guess not. Markdown. You may need to download something. Paste image. Markdown PDF. Preview. Now this should be Markdown lint. Nice. We could install that. Okay, so let's get Markdown lint. Preview enhance ported to VS Code. All in one. Okay, there should be a preview here as well. Split editor, not editor, but you should be able to preview. Okay, so this is a preview of a Markdown file. It doesn't recognize the front end Markdown here. Now, when I did it in YAML format, and YAML uses these colons, right? If you write it in YAML format, these should be colons, like this. Now, it recognized it. Okay, my first post has YAML. Now as its front matter language. And the title is given here, the date of the post is given here, and whether it's a draft is given here. Let's make it draft full so that it's published. And this is my first post. I am typing in. Okay, you could make this a header or something. File should end with a single new line character. Okay, sure. There we go. Now let's go to our new Hugo site. Oh, the server is not running probably. So let's start the server, Hugo server, like this. You can just type it in here, Hugo server. And this will start the server so that I can look at my localhost 1313. Okay, so recent posts, my first post, this is my first post, read more. And this is the post page. Posts, my first post, November, blah, blah. This is my first post. This date comes from this front matter, right? And this is the date that this file was created. And that's the title. I can change the title here. Not my first post, for example. Or, let's make it Dominions 5. Dominions 5 mods. And then I will have a Hellenica mod here. What does it say? Blank surround list. List should be surrounded by blank lines. Okay, there we go. What does this say? No multiple blanks. Multiple consecutive blank lines. Okay. Slint is good. Hellenica. And this should go to another page, right? You could create these markdown files manually as well. Content, posts. This is my first post, right? I could rename this to dominions5.md, match the title, and then have some categories in there as well. Read more, my first post, Dominions 5. Now it's changed. Okay, so post Dominions 5 and Hellenica mode. Let's continue on with the quick start here, configuring the site. Okay, so this is the markdown. This is the front matter that was generated. Introduction, this is bold text, this is emphasized text. Visit the Hugo website. Okay, let's get these in there instead. So this makes it bold for markdown. These double hash signs mean this is a title, H1 or H2 tag. And then this is a link, right? So you put the URL in there inside parentheses, and then next to it, without a blank here, with inside square brackets, you type in the link text, right? So let's see what my first post D is doing. And in the meantime, VS Code just generated another file called my first post here, because that's what I'm editing. So let's change this back to my first post. Okay, let's see here. Going to our website and go still Dominions 5. Okay, recent posts. Let's reload. Read more. Introduction. Still Dominions 5 though. It should not say Dominions 5 in there. My first post, introduction. Those are the things inside. Maybe this will change if I clear recent history. It's empty though. Maybe in private window here and paste and go. It's still saying Dominions 5 for some reason. Okay. Guess I can't get rid of that for some reason right now. Maybe it's the caching. No, it's caching some things. The Hugo engine. and that's why it's not refreshing this. Okay, so the introduction is, if we look at the page source here, it's generated a lot of meta properties, Hugo. And then where's my content? Oh my God, that's so much stuff that I don't really want. Introduction, this is bold text, this is emphasized text. That's meta. Okay, H2. So this was an H2 tag, the introduction. This is bold text, this is emphasized text. You can look at view selection source as well, right here. Or inspect. Right? You can have the inspector in here. I want to actually have this on the right here, but oh, well. This is bold text with the strong tag and emphasized with the EM tag. Introduction with the H2 tag. For H1 tag, you would have to use a single hash sign saying something, multiple top-level headings. Where's the other one? There isn't multiple. Come on. Badlint. Still H2 for some reason. Unions 5. Oh, right. So this up here, the post title gets H1 by itself. That's why you don't want another H1 inside your content. And as you can see, the bold, right? So here, this bold became a bold text, and this one with the single asterisk became emphasized or italicized. And this here became this link. Okay, let's see what else we have here. You can start the server and with a -d option here. It's a command and it builds any drafts that you have, I believe. Since I've already changed this to draft false, right? If I make it draft true again, we can test this command. Going back to the site. Okay. Localhost 1313. Well, I changed it to a draft, but it's not doing anything. Hugo server again. As you can see, the post disappeared, right? So I restarted the server and that post disappeared because I made it a draft. Now, if I stop the server now, Control C, okay, and actually use the -d command while starting the server, it will turn any drafts into non-draft, published posts. Okay, so I start the server again with the -d command, right? And let's see now. As you can see, the post appeared. It's not a draft anymore. We reopen this file. I'll open the folder actually. I've opened my Hugo folder now. And here, content, my first post, it's saying draft true. Okay. -D command built any drafts. Include draft content. But it didn't change the it did not change draft true to draft false. Right? You can do that yourself with any draft content that you have to publish it. Configure the site. Okay. In this section, we are going to be looking at the configuration file, Hugo Toml, at the root of your project. It says it's right here, the root of the project. Make the following changes. Set the base URL of your production site. So here I'm going to enter indieatlas.com. Language code and US, that's correct. And title. I'm going to say Indie Atlas. Start Hugo's development server to see your changes, remembering to include draft content. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to stop the server now and do this again. That's my actual site. And this is my new Hugo site. Still, for some reason. Let's go to localhost again. Localhost 1313. It still says my new Hugo site. Okay, so this I did not save the toml file, that's why. So I'm doing Control S now to save the toml file, stopping the server. Control C, come on, okay, and restarting the server. And here my site's name changed, right? Indie Atlas. Okay, new section, publish the site. In this step, you will publish your site, but you will not deploy it. When you publish your site, Hugo creates the entire static site in the public directory in the root of your project. So here, where is it? We have a, let's see. There is no public directory yet. It's probably going to be created when we do this. This includes HTML files and assets such as images, CSS, and JavaScript. When you publish your site, you typically do not want to include draft, future, or expired content. The command is simple, Hugo. To learn how to deploy your site, see the hosting and deployment section. Okay, we're not going to go into that right now. You basically use a service like Netlify or Amazon Web Services, Firebase, Cloudflare, GitHub Pages, and so on. And you can do it for free. Host your site for your static site for free on the internet. Okay. Hugo. Okay, I'm gonna stop this server now and go Hugo. It built my site. And now I have this public folder here where all my static HTML and so on is. So let's see here, not content, public. These are all the files I have. I should be able to simply go here. I mean, I don't need the localhost anymore. I should be able to go to this page on my computer and open index.html. And this is our website, IndieAtlas, IndieAtlas.com. There's nothing else on it right now. And this is the static site that Hugo generated. Let's see here the page source. There are lots of meta tags. There are lots of other tags as well. Not sure if all of this stuff is necessary. Generator, Hugo, and whatnot. And there's a lot of empty space here. Might be because of the template that we're using. Ask for help. You can go to the forum on Hugo and post any questions that you have here. There are other resources, external learning resources. Hopefully, I am also trying to make one. Right now, I'm just learning Hugo. Hugo in Action is a book that you can purchase. And you have video tutorials. There's Giraffe Academy videos that you might want to check out. They're a bit aged. It's not Giraffe Academy, okay. This, nope, not it. Yes, they changed this. They used to link to Giraffe Academy videos. Anyway, so you can check out these resources yourself. And let's see. See also basic usage, quick start. So I am going to continue on to content management here, overview, and go over all of this stuff. That was just getting installation and getting started. And content management, I will continue on in the next video. This is Room Connor from roomconnor.com, and I'll see you then.